Wow, I love your hair.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It looks so great. I'm Ryan Nickel. I'm married. I have 4 children and 1 on the way. To me, being a father is extremely important, and it's the reason why I decided to work with Bob. Guys, what did we just do?
We went on a rafting thing. We went on a wild ride.
Yeah, those rapids were awesome, weren't they?
I know, I like that boat right now.
That was so much fun. I met a guy, I saw him speak at one time, and he just basically told everybody, he's like, you just need to stop lying. Just stop lying. And it hit hard. I was like, oh my gosh, man, I'm lying. I've been lying to my wife, I've been lying to my bishop, I've been lying to my friends, my family, everything. I've been lying. I gotta come clean. So I came home and I told him, like, hey, you know what? I know you think everything is okay, but it's not. I look at porn all the time, and I'm sorry for it. I broke down, I started crying. I was like, you know, this is hard for me. And she cried too, and she's like, okay, I need to take some time. I need to think about this. I don't know what I want to do, get my head straight. I thought that you were cured, but, you know, this was taken care of. And so that started the process of me trying to work things through and to be honest with her. But it was very passive. Like every time I had, you know, a relapse or an issue where I looked at porn again, I would put on my calendar a little P next to the date. And then she'd come and she'd check my calendar and she'd say, you know, what I'd done. And then then I just got embarrassed and I stopped doing it because I didn't want to hurt her anymore. And she's like, you know, and then she came back and she called me on it. She's like, you're lying to me even more, trying to hide the fact that you're looking at porn, and that hurts me even more than you telling me. This went on and off and on for about 2 years. And it finally got to a point where I was staying up all night looking at porn. I wasn't doing my work. I worked from home, so I was looking at porn, and it was becoming such a burden on my shoulders that I was like, you know, I need to tell my wife, I need to just come clean. And that's when I saw Bob. He was on a platform. He was talking about what he had done, and he'd been, you know, porn free for multiple years. And I'm like, yeah, right. They all say that. But it was something inside me said, no, just reach out to this guy. So I'm like, fine, you know what? I'll do it. In my mind, I had been living this reality that, you know what? My wife can handle herself. She's fine. If she wants to, she can leave me like my first wife did, and that's okay. She's a grown woman. She can take care of her own. She knows exactly what she's doing. My kids are young. We have 4 kids, like I said, 1 on the way. So the ages are 8, 6, 4, 2, and then of course, you know, 1 on the way. And I'm like, they're young enough. They don't understand what's going on. And so, you know, in talking with Bob about this situation, about where I'm at, he basically just called me on it. He's like, look, dude. You think your kids don't know? Let me tell you, they know exactly what's going on with you. And at that moment, I had to think about it. I'm like, you know what? This is true. This is so true. My kids are like, hey, Daddy, how come you can't play with us? How come it takes you so long to go to the bathroom? You're just sitting in there not doing anything. What are you doing? What are you looking at? What are you watching? I'm like, oh, I'm, you know, reading emails. I'm studying for work and all this stuff. And Bob's like, dude, they know. They know 100%. They might not be able to articulate, oh, my dad's looking at porn, but they can feel it. There's an energy that's put off inside your house, this vibe. And I was like, you know what? Like, that hit me hard. It hit me real hard, because for me, my wife can take care of herself. My kids don't know. My kids can't handle themselves. 8, 6, 4, and 2. And I remember when I told my dad, after my wife left me, I called my dad up. I'm like, hey, Dad, I gotta tell you something. This is something that I'm ashamed to tell you. I'm embarrassed to share it with you, but the reason why my wife left me was because I have a porn problem. And at that moment, he goes, well, let me tell you something. I've struggled with porn my entire life. And not just me, but your grandfather. In fact, it was your grandfather who introduced it to me when I was a little boy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so when I'm sitting here and I'm talking to Bob and I'm hearing this about, like, your kids know, the last thing I ever wanted was to harm my kids. To have them struggle as I've struggled. It's the last thing I ever wanted to do. And having him tell me that I'm already doing that I'm already damaging my kids, man, that hurt. That hurt me real bad. Real deep inside. Because my wife She's a grown woman. She can handle herself. My kids are defenseless. And all of a sudden, my 8-year-old girl started acting out, started dancing very provocatively, and like doing like these kind of like moves and stuff. And I'm like, what the heck? Where'd you learn this at? We filter our televisions and stuff like that. I'm like, where you get picking this stuff up? And she's like, I don't know. I felt like, dancing like that was just kind of a fun thing to do. And I'm like, man, I can already start to see it. And that was what clicked for me. That was what decided me to go down this path and to work with Liberate a Man, because I wanted to be liberated myself, and I wanted to make sure that my kids were liberated. In the past, what I've done is I've had to just use my willpower, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna just like shut the TV off, I'm gonna turn the computer off, I'm gonna just run away, I'm gonna go run around the block, just do something to get my mind off the problem. Eventually you give into that. You get worn out. Today, that pull used to be this pull, this feeling right here in my chest, and Bob's taught me how to feel, where I'm feeling this and how to get rid of it, all through this program. And those energies, I still get tempted. I get tempted all the time, man. I'm closer to my wife and to my kids than I have before, because I've given myself permission to be dad, to play with them, to be one-on-one with them, to be intimate with my wife in ways that I hadn't been able to before because I've been afraid or embarrassed or shamed. And but most of all, when these temptations and these feelings, they come, I know exactly how to deal with them. That urge, that pull to immediately go right into it, it's not there anymore. And I can relate that directly to what I've learned with Bob and Liberate a Man. And if you're on the fence, if you're thinking like, this is all baloney, this is garbage, I can tell you, what? I've been through a lot of programs. I've been through a lot of programs. In and out of my religious community, professionally, I've paid for counselors. I've done a lot of different stuff. This is the only one that I have been able to find that truly does satisfy that hunger, that desire, that craving inside that would drive me to look at porn. It's not there anymore. The desire, I can honestly say, is gone. Now, as I have those choices, I choose not to do that, because I've learned that there were some things that I hadn't purged out of my soul, out of my system, that needed to get purged. So I encourage you, in fact, I implore you, if you're struggling and you have a family, do it for your kids, man. Your kids deserve to have a better life, a fresher start than being poisoned with this garbage that you yourself are struggling with. Now, again, I'm Ryan Nickel. I can tell you that I am a liberated man. And it's only because of Bob and the program that he has put together. I believe it's truly inspired, and that it's out there to help many of us overcome this addiction and to help us heal our families and heal our homes and become better husbands and fathers and ultimately better men in general.